Hello sports fans, it is Wednesday, March the 27th, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Before we do our weekly NBA State of the Union, let's go through some scores of note from last night. Very rarely do I start with soccer, but I'm starting with soccer today. Yesterday was the World Cup qualifiers. The United States played Mexico down in Mexico, and the United States got a very nice tie, 0-0 against Mexico. An impossible place to play. The United States has only won there once in their history. Very nice job of the United States. I mean, Mexico was pressing them the whole second half. I thought for sure Mexico was going to score. The United States held on for a 0-0 tie. I didn't think the United States had it in them. I thought they were going to lose and lose big. Give the United States credit. Very big point. I mean, Mexico dominated most of the play, most of the possession. I mean, they were down in the U.S. end the whole second half. I don't think the United States got a shot on goal the whole second half, but the United States holds on and gets the 0-0 tie. Very important point for the United States, so good job by them last night. These games, by the way, start way too late. This game started 10:30 Eastern Time. I mean, that's way too late. It ended 1 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast. Way too late on a weeknight. I mean, very, very late start. They got to do something about that. Way, way too late. The United States, very nice point last night in Mexico. Also last night, over to your NBA, the Knicks bombed Boston in Boston. I mean, it's funny, you watch Boston, you wonder how they win any games without these guys out. Without Rondo and Kevin Garnett in the lineup, you wonder how they win any games. I mean, the Knicks just handled them easily yesterday. That shows you how good of a coach Doc Rivers is and how professional Boston is, that they can win any games with all these injuries they have. Knicks handled them with ease last night. Also last night, Dallas, a huge win at home in overtime against the Clippers. Dallas had to have it. They rallied late. They win the game in overtime. Dallas only a game back of the Lakers. And remember now, Dallas is only one game under 500. Remember, if they get to 500, they could shave their beards. Remember, they did that thing where they're not going to shave their beards till they get to 500. Well, they're only one game under 500. They're only one game back of the Lakers. Utah also one game back of the Lakers. So we got a nice race for that last playoff spot. Over to the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins do it again. They beat Montreal at home 1-0. The Penguins can do no wrong. They are on absolute fire. And the Rangers had a nice win last night. They beat Philadelphia in Philly. Philly really struggling this year. Rangers have dominated the Flyers this year. Rangers actually put up 5 goals. I mean, there's a story. The Rangers actually put up 5 goals. Nice win by the Rangers last night. Also last night in your NIT, Maryland beat Alabama at Alabama. So that was kind of some of your scores from last night. Not a lot going on in the sports world, but you did have some things. All right, without further ado, let's go to our weekly NBA State of the Union. Let's start in the NBA East. We are coming down the home stretch in basketball. I mean, teams fighting for that 8th spot, fighting for position. Let's go through it right now. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. 15-1. We're going to go team record, little synopsis. Here we go. Number 15, Charlotte. They are 16-54. I was trying to find a silver lining for Charlotte because I bashed them every week. Here's one. The Sixers way back in the day had a year when they went 9-73. Then they got Dr. J, and 5 years later they were in the finals. Maybe Charlotte can get a Dr. J, and maybe they could be in the finals 5 years from now. That's my silver lining for Charlotte today. Number 14, Orlando, 18-53. Maybe they can win the lottery again. I mean, they won the lottery and got Shaq. I mean, then he goes to the Lakers. Then they won the lottery and got Howard. He's on the Lakers. Maybe they can win the lottery again, get the best player in college basketball, and maybe a few years down the line he could go to the Lakers as well. Number 13, Cleveland, 22-47. Will Irving play again this year? I mean, Irving looks like he's going to miss the rest of the year. He's a fabulous player, Irving. Cleveland's going to have another high draft pick this year. If they can put another nice play with Irving, you might have something to build around. Number 12, Detroit, 24-48. 2 wins since the All-Star break. I mean, Andre Drummond goes out, and they have not been able to win a game without him. So Detroit really miserable lately. Washington is number 11. They are 26-44. 20-15 since Wall's return, and Wall's played really well recently, had 47 points the other night, so Washington has been playing better. Number 10, Toronto, 26-44. Looks like Gay's going to be shut down the rest of the year. They have been playing horrible basketball lately, Toronto. They went through a nice stretch when they first got Rudy Gay. They've gone completely in the tank since. Number 9, Philadelphia, 27-43. They just broke a 15-game losing streak on the road, but still awful season for Philadelphia. Tough luck year for Doug Collins. They don't have Bynum at all for the whole year, so Philadelphia just a lost season. Those would be your teams out of the playoffs right now. Here are your top 8. Number 8, Milwaukee. They are 34-35. They were playing well, and now they've lost 6 of 8. It looks like Milwaukee wants to play Miami in that first round because they've done nothing recently to tell me otherwise. So Milwaukee really struggling lately. They're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to play Miami and be bounced in the first round. Number 7, Boston. They are 36-34. They still battle without Rondo and Kevin Garnett. They're a very professional team. Doc Rivers is a good coach. There's only so far they could go with this unit, though. Too many injuries, too much age. Number 6, you have Atlanta. They are 39-32. They'd love to get home court, but they're about 3 games out of home court. Atlanta is slipping a little bit. They'd love to get up to the home court, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Overall, a decent year for Atlanta, but they're exactly where they've been the last few years, stuck in the middle of the Eastern Conference. Number 5, Chicago. They're 38-31. Derrick Rose, are you coming back? Are you not coming back? Are we going to see you next year? What's the story with Derrick Rose? Doctors said they cleared him. He's a little hesitant about coming back. Derrick Rose, where are you? Bulls need him. Number 4, Brooklyn. They're 41-29. 3-1 on their road trip so far. Williams playing a lot better. Can Brooklyn beat the elite teams? Number 3, Indiana. 44-27. 4-3 lately, not great. They do play good D. They're having a tough time scoring in a battle with the Knicks for that 2 seed. Very important. Number 2, the Knicks. They are 43-26. They jumped Indiana for that important 2 seed. That is a very important battle because in the second round, if these 2 teams should meet, who gets home court could decide it, and I think will decide it. Right now, the Knicks have a little bit of an edge. Number 1, Miami. They're 56-44. They have a streak going that's unbelievable. They haven't lost. I looked it up. They haven't lost since February 1st. They went the whole month of February and now basically the whole month of March without losing. Think about it. That is your NBA Eastern Conference. Over to the NBA West we go. Number 15, Phoenix. They are 23-48. Could be the worst Phoenix Suns team in their history. That's how bad they've been. Number 14, New Orleans, 25-46. They do have some bright spots. Anthony Davis is playing really well. I think he's going to be a star of the future. They do have some stuff to build around in New Orleans. Number 13, Sacramento, 25-46. A new group has popped up that wants to keep the team in Sacramento. Here we go again. Are they going to Seattle? Are they staying in Sacramento? Back and forth we go. Number 12, Minnesota, 25-44. They're 9-9 with Kevin Love. They can't win a game without him. Looks like he's not going to come back this year. Totally lost season for the Timberwolves. Just a disaster. Injuries all over the place. Adelman's wife has been ill. We don't know if he's going to coach next year. Really, really hard season for the Timberwolves. Number 11, Portland. They are 33-37. They've lost 15 of 19 on the road. That's why I don't think they can get up to the 8th spot. They're a very soft road team. Number 10, Dallas, 35-36, 9-3 in their last 12. Dallas had a nice win against the Clippers, only a game under 500, only a game out of the playoffs. Hanging in there, Dallas. Number 9, Utah, 35-36. They're 3-12 in their last 15. I don't think Utah has any guts. I don't give them a chance to make the playoffs. I think the Lakers are better than Utah. I give Dallas a better chance than Utah. Utah has shown me very little in the last month. They've lost most of their games. They've gotten blown out a bunch of times. Even though they're a game out, I have no faith in Utah. Those would be your teams out of the playoffs. Here are your top 8. Number 8, the Lakers, 36-35. Here's a stat for you. They're 6-12 with their full lineup. How about that? With Dwight Howard, Gasol, Kobe, Nash, Artest, they're 6-12. Awful. I think the Lakers will hang on to the 8th spot, but I think they're being bounced in the first round anyway. Number 7, Houston, 39-31. Won 11 of 13 at home. They just beat the Spurs. Houston is going to make the playoffs. Very exciting team with Harden and Lin. They can do some things. I still think they're going to be in trouble, though, in the first round of the playoffs because they're going to have to play probably Oklahoma City. That's bad news. Number 6, Golden State. They are 41-31. 6-15 in their last 21 on the road. We know they can play good at home. They have a lot of home games. That's why they're going to, make it to the playoffs. Can they win on the road? Number 5, Memphis, 47-23. Marc Gasol hurt, might miss the rest of the regular season, will be back for the playoffs, but that's going to cost Memphis some seeding. They were playing really well. Tough break for them losing Marc Gasol. He will be back for the playoffs, but Memphis is going to drop in the standings, I think, without him. Number 4, the Clippers, they're 48-23. They are now below Denver, believe it or not. They're only 23-17 in their last 40 games, and that is after their big 17-game winning streak. Clippers are good, but are they elite? Can they beat those elite teams? Can they beat the Spurs and Oklahoma City and those type of teams? And they're going to have to do it on the road as well. Number 3, Denver, 49-23. 9-4 against the top teams in the Western Conference. That's a nice record for Denver. Playing really well at home. I mean, they just had their long winning streak broke, but that was on the road. Denver, not a great road team, a little shaky on the road. At home, they could beat anyone. Number 2, Oklahoma City, 52-19. It's all about the playoffs for Oklahoma City. Is Martin going to be as good as Harden in the playoffs? What's Oklahoma City going to be doing in the playoffs, considering they made the finals last year? I mean, it's the finals or bust this year. And if they do get to the finals, can they beat Miami? I don't think so. They've lost to Miami twice this year. Lost to them in the finals last year. I still think they're a notch below Miami. Number 1, San Antonio, 53-17. Still the best record in the West. They keep doing it, San Antonio. Even though they have guys sitting out all the time. Duncan sits, Ginobili sits, Parker sits, and you look up there, 53-17. Nobody does a better job coaching than Popovich. All right, so that is your NBA State of the Union. We're getting down to the home stretch in the NBA. Not much time left in the NBA. It's getting down to the nitty-gritty. Teams got to start making their move right now. All right, as far as Wednesday, what to watch, a few games of note to watch, just a few highlighted games. I'm not going to go through all the games with you, just a few highlighted games. If you're looking for some college basketball in the NIT, you have Iowa, Virginia. As far as your NBA highlighted games tonight, Memphis and the Knicks, that's a decent game. Miami puts their winning streak on the line. They go to Chicago. That should be a fun game. Indiana at Houston and Denver at San Antonio. Very nice game. Over to your NHL, Montreal at Boston. What a tough back-to-back for Montreal. In Pittsburgh last night, in Montreal tonight. Anaheim at St. Louis and Phoenix at Minnesota. So you have some things to watch tonight. If I was to highlight just a couple games out of that group, I would say in hockey, Montreal-Boston, that's a must-watch. That is a great rivalry. And in the NBA tonight, Miami-Chicago, I mean, you have that streak going. Denver-San Antonio is a fabulous game. And even Memphis-New York is a good game, although Memphis has a key injury in Gasol. So you have some stuff to watch tonight. Not a crazy night in the sports night, but, you know, you got some things to watch. All right. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow we're going to get back to our NCAA tournament as that resumes tomorrow, our Sweet 16. Friday we will recap what went on in the Thursday games. We'll also do some movies on Friday. We have a lot to cover. So you guys, thanks for tuning in. And I'll try and do a little baseball preview before the week is out as well. Believe it or not, baseball starts on Sunday and Monday. Hard to believe. So I'll try and throw in some baseball there as well. You guys, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Enjoy the games tonight. I will talk to you tomorrow, Thursday. Take care.